Hi, I'm Ben, and this is my review on Gotham Knights, not the video game, not to be confused on the TV show. Okay, so this TV show is getting a lot of press. Like, it has like an 18 or 17 or 19 on Rotten Tomatoes, and I thought it was going to have a bad popcorn meter because Batwoman had a bad popcorn meter, and I thought this was going to have a low rating, like really low, but no, it had pretty much had like a 50, and I'm like, really? Even critics admit even Gotham Knights isn't a good show, but you're alright, you don't really hate that much of Gotham Knights. Okay, so I wanted to watch this just to get an idea. I don't know if I'm gonna watch it a lot. I'm not planning on doing episode recaps or reviewing every episode. I don't feel like doing that to a show with this praise. Like I might have something interesting to say, like She-Hulk. I'm not like that. I had something interesting to say, and I reviewed Spider-Man, like Marvel's Disney XD show. Also, if you hear voices in the background, that's my mom's watching the news, so forgive it if you hear noise backgrounds. But anyways, Gotham Knights. Okay, so again, I'm not gonna review every episode. I'm not gonna do it like episode recaps like what I did with Marvel's Spider-Man. I'm just gonna talk about this one episode and give my thoughts. I thought I was gonna really hate it, but I don't really hate anything. I watched it, and I wouldn't say I like it, but I don't. It didn't make me angry. That's all I can watch. Like, it wasn't painful to sit through. I may have loose focus, but I'm like, what? Like, for starters, Turner High Hayes. Okay, so there's a new character in the show named Turner Hayes, who's the adopted son of Batman, and here's my problem with Turner Hayes. I think it's Hayes. Yeah, Turner Hayes. Okay, he was never in the comics. I looked up. He's literally said to be made up for the show. Why? Like, you could have had Dick Grayson or Tim Drake or even Jason Todd or Damian Wayne. You have like four other Robins you could have used for this, and you picked just his made up character. You could have easily made him Tim Drake or Dick Grayson. And why? It's because there's Titans. So you have two shows that have the Batman continuity that have nothing in common with each other. So what makes this no difference? Oh, so there's no Alfred in this movie, in this show. It's this other lady, I forget her name, but she apparently is supposed to be the caretaker, and she referenced Alfred, but why wasn't just Alfred and having him tell him that he was Batman? And yes, I should bring up, Batman's dead in this show. Like, you see the body, you see him getting buried and under it. I don't know if they're going to reveal that he's alive, but why? And I haven't played the video game yet. I do want to play the video game, but at least with that, they could have said that Batman isn't dead. Maybe he's not dead in the video game. I don't know. Don't tell me any spoilers. I haven't played it. But with that said, like, and the worst part, they showed a scene of Batman's suit going into the Batcave, but then you just see his Batman mask, and I'm like, that's his mask? That looks like a dollar store Halloween mask. Even Adam West would look at that and say that's too cheap looking. Sorry, I know I said this didn't make me angry, but there's a lot of inaccuracy that do kind of make me go, huh? But with that said, so the other characters. Okay, it's Harper Roy, who I was first introduced in the Young Justice series. She was a character added later in the Batman family who wears like a black jacket. And her brother, Cullen Roy, and Dela something. She's supposed to be the Joker's daughter, and I looked her up in the comics. She is not supposed to be really the Joker's daughter. She just called herself the Joker's daughter, but here she's the daughter of Harley Quinn and Joker, and I'm like, what? Like I never read any comments, but I looked her up, and they had her be the Joker's daughter, and I don't know how to feel about that. But it wouldn't be so bad if they tried to make a few things more comic book accurate. But yeah, I want to go back to them killing off Batman. Not only that they kill off Batman, but they revealed his identity, even though he was wearing his suit and just having the Batman mask, like this dollar store cheap looking mask. Like, that's Batman. Like, you could have easily, he would have been framed. Like, what other evidence? Like, and they just told him about Batman. They didn't show him the Batcave, at least not what they showed. And here's your first problem. He literally tells people, yes, he's Batman. Why would you do that? The secret identities? Like, you're supposed to keep his identity secret.
We have to keep our secret identities secret.
From everybody?
Especially from everybody.
That basically asks his villains to go after him.
If our identities get out, every crook in the city will be after us. Or, God forbid, our loved ones.
Oh, so what villain is introduced in this? Because Harvey Dent is in here, but here he's just Harvey Dent. Yeah, you kill off Batman, but Harvey Dent isn't even Two-Face. And you mentioned, like, this Turner guy, that guy is like an uncle to him. And Harvey Dent's like a police detective? Why? Isn't he supposed to be like a lawyer, and then he gets his face struck in acid, and then he becomes Two-Face? Like, why isn't he Two-Face in this? Like, you could have had him as the villain, but here it's the Court of Owls, similar to how in the Gotham Knights video game, I haven't played it, but I've seen a few trailers. I think the Court of Owls was gonna be the villains in the game, but here it is. But yeah, this is basically still Gotham Knights by name only. Say what you want about the video games, but at least they had characters from the game like Barbara Gordon as Batgirl, Dick Grayson as Nightwing, Jason Todd as Red Hood, Damian Wayne as Robin. Yeah, Robin. Yeah, the cast isn't in this game. No Nightwing, no Robin. Yeah, they don't even reference if Dick Grayson or Jason Todd or Tim Drake or all the others exist. Like, Stephanie Brown is in here, but she never been mentioned to be Robin, or this her first appearance. But here it is. Carrie Kelly. Yeah, Carrie Kelly is in this, and she's Robin. And when they showed her at a later scene, when they introduced her, they built up that it looked like it was going to be Batman, but here it's Carrie Kelly as Robin, and she doesn't even dress like Robin. Like, I was literally chuckling. I was like, that's supposed to be Robin? Now, I'm not saying anything racist, like, oh, they cast a black girl instead of a white Caucasian redhead, because that's what she looks like in the comics, but, like, I'm okay with certain, like, I like April O'Neil, but that's because there's so many versions of, like, in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, I said it was okay for April O'Neil, like, being black, because she was black in Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and there are different reimaginings to the Ninja Turtles lore, so this didn't bother me, but I don't want you to think I'm racist. I love people and everyone. I love everyone. But anyways, with that said, Carrie Kelly, like, she doesn't even look like Carrie Kelly. Like, they just give her these goggles with the greens that are trying to replicate her glasses. But with that said, she wears like this black jumpsuit hoodie. She doesn't wear the red and green or the Robin insignia on her chest, on her right side of the chest. She doesn't have red combed short hair. She's basically Carrie Kelly by name only. Like, it's not that they cast a black lady. They don't even attempt to dress her up like Carrie Kelly. Like, they could have at least dyed her hair or combed it to make it look like the comic Carrie Kelly. But and she doesn't even know, and Turner doesn't even know Carrie as Robin in this. Like, he or even knows more about her. She's like, I'm in your class, I do math. And I'm like, what? Like, they don't, like, shouldn't they know each other? Like, because if she's supposed to be Robin in this, shouldn't they at least know each other? And yeah, the costume is very cheap. A lot of people say the special effects are cheap. Yeah, because they introduced Talon, who's like this owl assassin character that works for the Court of Owls. And half of these costumes look like Halloween decorations. Like, they look like bad cosplay. Like, they look like costumes that I can whip up in at an art school. Like, they look like some of the effects and lighting kind of looks a little bit like a mockbuster show, a little bit. But I did like the Batcave. I thought the Batcave looked pretty neat. It might be bland for some people, but I don't know. They got the cave right with the lights, stairs. That's pretty neat. I did like how they did the Batmobile. My main problem with other versions, like in Batwoman, they just try to use a normal car. Heck, even the Batman movie, as much as I like that, they mainly just use a normal looking car. But I did like that when they showed the Batmobile, which they never drive in the first episode, I do like the design for the Batmobile. It looks like how a Batmobile looks like. It kind of looks like a mix between like the Ben Affleck Batmobile mixed with the Tumbler, like trying to be more like the Tumbler, but yeah, I actually did like the design. It looked pretty neat, but yeah, no bat suit, no nothing. So, and yeah, the Joker's daughter, yeah, I guess the actors they're pretty great. They're all right. There's some acting that feels a bit bland, but yeah, I don't know what else to say. Is there anything I did like? Well, I like that there was a little boy dressed as Batman at his funeral. That was pretty sweet. I did like that there were certain caring moments, like certain scenes where they showed that like they cared about other people or they tried to talk with each other, but I don't remember. I barely remember a lot from this episode. I may have lost focus. But yeah, that's the first episode of Gotham Knights. That's my thoughts. Yeah, I guess it's because I guess at the end when they were talking about the Court of Owls or running from the law, I guess it did interesting. Like I guess I was invested enough to maybe check out the second episode, but I don't know. Like like as you can see throughout my ranting, I sound like I really hated this. Like I hated how inaccurate it is, but I guess I am curious to see what happens next enough. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Gotham Knights. I'm very disappointed because the last live action Batman show was the Adam West show. And as much as I like that, of all the shows the CW made, like we made a Superman and Lois, but we never make like a new live action Batman show with a darker tone. Like they made Batwoman, they made this, but we never they made Gotham, but we never had like a darker Batman show that reflects the modern take. Like, wouldn't you like to see that? It's weird because we have two live action Batmans, well, three basically, and we have him in TV shows like in Titans and kinda in the Arrowverse, sort of. Like, we have, like, they cast Bruce Wayne, but with that said, we never really have like a live action, like of all the spin-offs they made of Batman, like like we never had like a more modern, darker take on Batman in modern day. Like, I feel like with all the attempts, like, wouldn't you like to see that? Like, we don't have a new live action Batman show. We just, over the years, we just have darker spin offs. Like, I love the movies and I love the animated series, and I'm excited for this new animated one, the Cape Crusader or something on Prime Video, I believe. I'm excited to see that. But with that said, we're with that said, I would really like to see a more modernized, darker take on Batman in like a live action show, and not like spin off of lesser known or even characters that you don't know got shows. Like they made Titans, they made Batwoman, they made this show. Like why not a more modern Batman show? I'm just rambling. You get the idea. Well, that's my thoughts on Gotham. I hope you enjoyed this video and see you next time.